What's up, guys? So today had a bunch of running around to do. This morning did some stuff around the house, which was going to help me get stuff done here, and then finally got over here. Needed to run over to Home Depot because that's part of the daily ritual. Went home last night, looked at the sump that I was going to put into this guy right here, and that's not going to work. So I'm ordering sump, so that's going to slow down the getting water into these frag tanks, unfortunately. So I'm going to put an order in right now after I'm done recording this with you guys to get 2 sumps over here for next week. Most likely they're going to get freighted, so well, I'll just have to deal with that. But in the meantime, I should be able to plumb everything, hopefully. So we got that going on. What else we got going on? You know what? I'm going to make that work. I got to get that. I'm going to make that work. I just decided I am going to get that sump in here, and I'm going to make it work, even if I got to do reducers and all that business. Because the openings to it's a Smart Series bash sheet sump. I was going to use inch and inch and a half plumbing to bring water to the sump, and initially was thinking inch and a half, and then whatever. So the plan is to use inch and inch and a half. The inch and a half was going to be my emergency full siphon, which I think I may have flip-flopped on that. I think the inch and a half may be my main drain, and then the inch will be my emergency drain in case that inch and a half gets plugged up. But that sump I think only had holes for like inch, probably inch, maybe inch and a quarter. But we'll just throw a reducer on there, reducer coupling, and make that work. So we'll get that sump over here tomorrow. We're gonna plumb that. That's gonna get water in it this weekend. As for the freshwater tanks, I got my RO system here. It's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt, and that's really what we're going to be focusing on in this video. So I'm going to jump online, order that sump, and then we're going to hook up the RODI filter and start pulling water for these tanks. You don't technically need to use RO water for fresh water. We are in Jeff's dojo, so that's what we're going to be doing today. So I've kind of ran into a little bit of trouble with the RODI system. I was hoping that these guys were going to do the trick to be able to hook up the cap to the RO system. This is basically, a quick connect hose. It's about the same size as a garden hose. So I bought 3 of these, not really knowing what I was working with. 2 of them were kind of redundant, but I wasn't 100% certain on that. But what I was hoping was I was going to be able to get that to connect to the sink in the bathroom for the time being. I have a plumber coming in at probably next week to do a couple things in the back so I can actually pull water a little bit better than I am, or what I have for an option, at least what I'm going to be doing today. So let's go take a look at the bathroom real quick. This room has gotten out of control in a hurry. I literally just threw stuff in here. So one thing that you guys say, yeah, right. So one thing that I've heard a lot in the comment section, I've heard it a couple times. I've also heard it talked about in other videos that kind of surround fish stores and that sort of thing, and that is the subject of a clean bathroom. And I want you guys to keep in mind before we get into this that this has been a construction site. This is not current state of the bathroom. This is going to get fixed, so keep that in mind. But what I need to do to get this to work, oh my god, oh yeah, oh boy. Yep, stuff's happening. Oh, I can feel the hate comments happening now. That's paint, by the way. That's paint. I'm gonna have to buy a new sink. I'm gonna have to buy a new sink for more than one reason, but that aside, that's why this looks like absolute garbage, and I'm gonna fix it before we're open. So, tried see, I even got paint on my faucet, so I can't get anything to connect here, and this is my only source of water, which hence the reason why we are going to have the plumber here next week, one to deal with this, and also I would like a sink right here as well, just because I think it would be a little bit more functional to have a sink there. And I also want the RODI system to be on the same wall over here as the sink. So even though there's a sink literally 2 feet away, that's where I want to have it, because coming into the bathroom, you know, this doesn't need to look like this, right? And even, you know, once the construction part of this comes to a close, you know, we'll replace that sink. But I need a utility sink out here just to keep stuff like that out of the bathroom. But this is all paint. But anyways, so I need to connect that hose tip to here. Well, every one of those adapters that I bought do not screw to this faucet. So I'm gonna have to make something work. And I think I have something that will do that. Alright, so this is gonna be probably the most expensive attachment for an RODI system setup ever. This tubing right here, I only literally need about 4 inches of that, but I had to buy all of it. But I'll keep it around, you never know when you're gonna need some of that. Also bought an adapter and then 2 hose clamps. The adapter, I don't know why they have it like that. The adapter is going to go into the hose like so, clamp it, and we're able to screw our RODI hose tip to that. I just went in slick as business. But I think where I'm going to run into trouble, we'll just leave it. Where I think I'm going to run into trouble is where this connects up to the faucet. I put it up to the faucet real quick just to see if it's going to work, and it seems like that's going to be in a little bit of trouble. But I literally only need like that much of it. I had to buy $10 worth of tube just for that much. See if I can find something to cut that with. Alright, sorry about the wait, but through the magic of editing, you guys waited 2 seconds. I'm gonna try this out. I bet you this will work. Not the most beautiful cut, but doesn't need to be. Put that down like so. I really need to just take like half a day and go through and clean this place up, because it's kind of gotten out of hand. This week I've kind of lost my show up a little bit due to cleanliness, and it's getting to a point where I can't really find stuff. It's becoming an issue. Slowing me down. Alright, so that's pretty hardcore. So we got this now. We're going to try to get the faucet to go up and in. Then we'll clamp it on that end, and then we should be good to go. It's not pretty. But it'll work. I didn't think I was going to be able to make that happen. It only cost me like 20, 30 bucks, but hey, time to make some water. It's a bit of a hot mess. So the 2 pre-filters, we got those changed out, and we also changed out the RO membrane. The last stage, the DI section, it looks like expired DI resin. It's not. It's actually a blend of DI and a silicate removal product, and that's basically how it looks. So we got that going. We got the filters changed out. We're going to be making water for the freshwater tanks, And then hopefully after we get those filled, which I think I need about 600 or so gallons to fill those up, we'll start storing water for the frag tanks, because I think it's going to take us into the weekend to get those where they need to be. Still undecided on the back 2 tanks, how I'm going to go about doing those, but we'll chug along and hopefully get to a place where we can get those wrapped up. I forgot my sander again, so we're not going to be able to finish painting that first set of frag tank stands. But I think I got plenty of other things to do. I got to get some of this cardboard out of here. Got to put another top coat on the cash wrap table, and then edit this video. So we got things to do, a lot of cleaning to do, because this place is tore up right now. So we're going to get after that. And yeah, happy that we're making water. It was a little bit of a deal. It's definitely not ideal. I need to get a hold of a plumber, get him over here and get me hooked up so I can do the things that I need to do the way I need to do it, instead of these improvised things that I'm doing, because that's just a hot mess. Water right now, we're about 2/3 of the way, and I've been running that for about 4 hours. So I'm not sure exactly what that does anymore. I think that's 100 gallon, might be 100 gallon unit. But it's old. The pump's old. It's probably in need of updating. But as far as getting the store, up and going, should do the trick. While I've been waiting, I've been painting. There's a good wall going there. I think I'm gonna order some slat board tomorrow for that. And I also did a coat on the table, and you can kind of see a little bit of a sheen going on. I use a satin clear coat, because I used to do basketball gyms, installs, painting and coating and all that stuff when I was a kid, and I can't stand clear coat. Hate it. So I usually like the little bit softer look, and I think that's going to turn out pretty good. That was almost a catastrophe, because I was at Lowe's earlier today, and I was looking for some type of applicator to put the coat on, and I ended up finding these like little weird rollers, and it goes on like the 4-inch roller, and I started laying it out, and that is not a good idea. I had so many bubbles, and then had no way of actually taking the top coat out of the can, so I was like pouring it and rolling it, and it was just all over the place. It almost was a really, really bad deal. So luckily had a microfiber towel in the back, and just went over it real quick and brought out a lot of those bubbles, minus like the little bit of white marks that you can see. Even though this isn't the last coat on this, it definitely saved this from just being an absolute train wreck. I mean, needing to sand the crap out of it. But it's coming out pretty good. It's looking pretty good so far. I'd like to put at least one more coat on it, see how it goes, and then we'll start trimming that bad boy out. Hopefully we can get that wrapped up this weekend. Frag tank still just chilling. I'm going to be pretty much on pause until I get the sander. I guess I could have painted this, started painting it like I did that today, which I might still do while I'm waiting for the water to go. But I think we are kind of wrapping things up here for today. Light day, not a heavy day. Tomorrow being Friday, and I said I wanted water in the tanks Friday. Not going to happen with the frag tanks, but definitely going to happen with the freshwater tanks. So that's probably what we'll work on tomorrow. I'll continue to run the pump, and then we'll start filling these tanks up. Those brute containers are 44 gallons, so I probably will be able to do maybe 1.5 tank per brute container. So we're going to be running some water. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this one. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up. I'll see you tomorrow right here with a new video. it.